Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. It's Sunday, so as you can tell from the background, this is MCU Sundays, Marvel Cinematic Universe Sundays. What does that mean? That's where I take different tabletop RPGs and gather together folks from the open hearth community, and we create characters and tell a story embedded or inspired by different media from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I make $0 as a non-monetized channel. I don't even have a Patreon link to it. I don't know what's wrong with me because I actually play for fun instead of money. It's weird. I know. I realize I'm an anomaly and not a capitalist. I'm sorry, but please don't sue me, Disney. Please. I'm just taking your rich and wonderful IP that you fielded for different various media outside of comic books and like playing games. So, with that in mind, this month is very exciting and special to me. Spoilers for the Disney Plus series Secret Invasion are about to happen, but I'll try to obliquely reference it. So, inspired by Project Harvest, which was part of the climax of Secret Invasion, and also by, sorry for Marvel fanatics, Valiant Comics's uh, Hardcore. I mashed those two together and made this baby using Blaze in the Dark as our mechanical engine. So the idea is that the characters in this game are part of MACE. What is MACE? As Rich rushes over to find how he backonymed it. The Mission Adaptive Combat Ensemble Project. Using the harvest, which was DNA of various superpower beings harvested, except that it's been refined, and these MACE agents are part of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're an experimental group of Black Ops soldiers who have limited access to these superpowers. They're regular people, well trained, who have neural implants that have been surgically inserted into them so that they have access to these superpowers. How does it work? Magic, science, one of those. Who cares? At one at a time, meaning each of the individual MACE agents have the ability to harvest a power they call back to control and can embody this for a good deal of stress to themselves, their psyche and their bodies. They can harvest a power and be a superpowered dude or dudette or person who are doing crazy, fantastical things. They will be sent on missions across the globe, possibly into space. We'll see. It's only 4 sessions. I'll do what I can. And so it's very inspired by like G.I. Joe and Suicide Squad. And yeah, these are heroic figures. There will be like we're going with S.H.I.E.L.D. versus US, but there's a little bit of odd jingoistic nature embedded in some of this concept. Please be advised. There would definitely be as content warning, possibly not definitely be possibly some body horror type things. We will see. I don't plan on going there, but I'm warning you ahead of time. We do have some safety tools that the group has all filled out, meaning we have lines on certain things. We have a line on cannibalism, sexual assault, violence, or coercion. Not going to happen. We're not interested in that at all. We're not saying it doesn't exist. We're just saying it's not part of our story. We have veils, which are things that we are okay if it happens. We're not going to shine a spotlight on it. For example, sexual content. If a couple of characters are going to hook up, we fade to black, some jazz music. I get to say jazz, thank goodness. So jazz music plays. Sorry, that's a Star Wars joke. Jazz music plays or whatever. We fade to black, we cut away, and then that happens. We just don't have to dwell on it. And then we have some ask first, which are things that situationally could be touch and go. Maybe it's cool, maybe not, based on how it is. So what happens with Ask First is if any one of the five of us have the idea of introducing, for example, bullying, we would check in with the group as players first and say, hey, I've got an idea that the reason I'm so mad is that my character is bullied as a youth. Is everybody cool with that? And then if any one person says, can you try it a different way? then you're obligated to try to come up with something else. And if you're like, that's the only idea I had, dudes, that's okay. Just pitch it out to the group. We'll come up with something. We have 5 beautiful brains here, and I know that someone's fertile imagination will give us other opportunities that will allow you to explore that motivation through a different lens. We also have open door, and then on top of that, we have the X card in case there is something that you didn't realize you need to put a liner veil on, but it comes in and is killing your fun. You can X card that. So yeah, that's all the preamble. Yeah, that's all the preamble. So we have characters created at this point. We have not introduced the characters to the group, so we will be doing that in just a moment. And then we'll talk a little bit about your current base. We're going to figure out where is this Shield Mace core unit housed at current, and that can change. Right, it's you're Black Ops who work across the world, so maybe you don't have just one headquarters, but you will have a place where the people who are part of the overall organization, administration, and the like live and work, and that's what we'll define in just a minute. So, with all of that rigmarole out of the way, I would like to go around the horn and have each of you introduce yourself and then tell us a bit about your character. I'm very excited to see you guys talking about them. And we're going to start with Andesh because Andesh has done so much work with the background and also the rename, which I really appreciate that. And that's a hint to others who haven't quite done that yet. So, Andesh, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Yeah, I'm Anders, he, him. I'm playing Hudson Khan, aka Flyboy. I'm not sure about all of his background yet, but I think he's been like a mercenary helicopter pilot mainly. He's very charming when he wants to be, but he's very like his mood flips a lot. So yeah, he can be pretty self-destructive, pretty destructive to others as well. Um, yeah, I think that's about what I've got so far.
I like it. Your vices, stupor, and pleasure. That's a Blaze in the Dark mechanic. This is a Blaze in the Dark hack. How is it that you have become a rival? And we can discover more in play, but I'm just off the top of your
Mhm.
head. How have you become a rival with the character known as Volpeg, a government official?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the name there. I think you should probably have something more.
Okay,
Uh,
I
uh,
agree. I
yeah.
stole this from a
Um,
really cool character keeper, and I didn't do as many renames as I probably should have. So we'll come up. So a government official. Ooh, Stevens now. Oh, it's backwards. By the way, Steven, in case you're curious.
Um, yeah, I think it's just he's been my he's been in charge of missions I've been on, like the kind of deniable missions where you would hire
Mm.
mercenaries, and he doesn't like the way I work. I think it's just yeah, a mutual disrespect that has developed over many years of not getting along.
Are you imagining that this person is part of S.H.I.E.L.D. or just a regular government agent before you joined S.H.I.E.L.D? Because I think you had a military background, right?
Yeah, part of Shield seems more interesting. I mean, if they're going to show up, it's that's more fun.
Cool. So S.H.I.E.L.D. official then. Just say it's a S.H.I.E.L.D. Doesn't like him. Cool. I'm adding that in, and then once you do the rename, I'm just adding it to the NPCs. We'll find a picture for that person eventually. Thank you so very much, Nash. Cody, I heard there's a reveal coming up, so I want you to
All
reveal.
right, maybe not as much of a reveal, but yeah. My name's Cody. I use the he/him pronouns, and in this game, I'm playing the Bad Mother playbook, which is going to be my character Saxton Kane, call sign Iron Wolf. He's a bad mother. He's been in too many wars, too many places, too hot to handle, and he's gonna keep bringing everybody home as best he can. What more do you need to know about Saxton Kane?
Oh, good. So it's awesome. You have amongst your friends and rivals a friend who is a prostitute. Um, are you cool with that as a definition? Like that is she is actually, or do you want to change that or alter that?
No, yeah, that's cool. That's just her job, man. That's just what she does. She's the only person I can really show my soft side to.
Oh,
It's hard
nice.
out there, in these hot spots, these hard zones.
That's so good. I love it. So she's the person you can show. It does. There's no gender. She, Charleston, is it she? Are you cool with that? Okay,
Yeah. That sounds good. That's right.
awesome. So Charleston is a streetwalker, or is she a high priced sex worker? What do you think?
I think she's probably a regular at the bar that he goes to for his vice. His vices are stupor and gambling, I believe. Uh,
Hmm.
so I think it's more that. It's just she's another local at the bar.
Sleeps with Iron Wolf from time to time. Cool. I like it. That is awesome. You've got stupor and gambling. That's great. Military and labor. Tell me a little bit about the labor background that you imagine for Saxton Kane. Where'd it come from?
Yeah, Saxton Kane is from Middle America. You know, his family. If he didn't get out into the service, he would have just been another fucking farmhand working the dairy farms all over the Midwest. You know, trying to scrimp together cash so that he could buy his own farm, maybe one day on a tractor. But that wasn't going to be his fate. He wanted something bigger, better. He didn't want to inherit his dad's barn. No, he wanted to build something for himself. And so he enlisted. Now, unfortunately, that obviously went sideways for him because now he's getting superpowers injected into his brain. But what are you going to do?
So he didn't seek this out. This was this was a thing, an opportunity was thrust upon him.
Um, so I think, if I may reference another character in the MCU, it's a real Emil Blonsky situation, right? Where it's like, hey, you're the best for this situation, and he got put into spots that were too hot, too super, and just by the nature of him being forced into these classified areas, it's like, well, we can bring him into this because he already knows about XYZ, or he's already been a part of a fight against XYZ. So he's as likely a candidate as any to juice up.
Okay, that's nice.
You know?
If you were on the short list for the super soldier serum, uh, when they were trying to revitalize the program, but it didn't work out. I like it. I like it. That's good. Good stuff. Thank you so much, Cody. Steven, I'd like to go to you next, please. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, my name's Steven, and my pronouns are he, him. And I'm playing Lionel Douglas, aka Pawn. Um, Pawn was a low-level criminal, grew up in a rough kind of neighborhood, um, and uh, basically found that he could only make ends meet by sneaking around, stealing stuff. He was a petty criminal, petty burglar kind of thing, and got the attention of the local cops. And as his jobs grew bigger and bigger and bigger, he got more and more attention until eventually he was recruited by MACE as someone who didn't have uh he had certain skills but didn't have much to lose. So, um yeah. Let's see. He's driven to help, you know, his family back home, but I think underlying unconsciously, there's also he's driven to help others and give of himself in order to help others. Which is something that others see in him that he doesn't really recognize. He feels very selfish and thinks of that, you know, uh, as something he's doing for himself. Um, as far as friends and rivals, I have an espionage agent, and I think this is a rival who I don't like the name. I'll have to figure out another name, but the espionage agent did not want him included in MACE. Like saw all of the, illegal and questionable things that he had done, and was pushing against it, but didn't have enough clout to prevent it. Um, and then of course I have a medic who helps fix me up from time to time as I inevitably get hurt. Oh, you're on mute, Rich.
That's awesome. I really like that. I threw in the little bit of those details on the Major John Clash is freaking great, by the way. That is the S.H.I.E.L.D. official who is not happy about Flyboy being involved. That's great. That's great. So I threw the details on the NPCs tab, started row 19 for the espionage agent who did not want Pawn to join Mace Core. Good stuff. And then we'll talk a little bit more about your medic friend, because I imagine they're part of Mace overall. So that'll be cool. Good stuff. Thank you, Stephen. And last but certainly not least, Mark, one of my favorite call signs.
Yeah, we got Starfall. Starfall's civilian name is Soma Cytheria. She was I think she was wound up being a military lawyer in the British army and was recruited to S.H.I.E.L.D. After not too long after her other talents were revealed. Other talents being just being a tough son of a bitch in general. Yeah, she's the war hero playbook, and has as a friend Vasco, a comrade in arms. I'm going to keep that name because I think that's great. And a war widow as a rival in Gretel. Yeah, still thinking about exactly who that is, but I got some ideas. Yeah.
Oh man,
War Widow. Starfall there.
It's awesome. War Widow, which again, that was inherited. But now I'm thinking, is it somebody from the Black Widow project?
Oh, I wasn't even thinking that. That's even better. Yes, of course it is.
Cool. Awesome. I love it. Good stuff. I really enjoy all the characters you guys have brought to the table. Thank you so much for that. Let's talk a little bit about where you're currently housed. So, with some of I knew this was a risk, so I want to dial in that I think you guys do have a base. That way we can have the rivals and the allies, friends involved in more of that stuff. You will travel the world, but eventually come back to that base. You have a so here's the first question. I'm just throwing out. I'm so confused about where Pawn is now. Sorry. Short attention span. Do we want to start with the MCU? Everything happens in the United States, and MACE's headquarters is somewhere in the US. Do we want to put it near the US, like maybe in like southern Canada, like the Toronto-y area, or do we want to go all the way like you're somewhere near the hot spot, therefore you're in Europe-ish?
Europe would be fun.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, hotspot's good.
Do we want it to be like a like a a dangerous part of Europe, or a rougher portion of Europe that we don't normally see, or like is it Spain, or is it like Czechoslovakia,
or is it Sokovia? Or we can
Good morning, Sokovia.
It probably should be Sokovia, right? I mean, it's right there. It has links. I'm sure S.H.I.E.L.D. has set up a heavy presence post Ultron, because what else would a US you know what? I think Sokovia's good.
So you're a S.H.I.E.L.D. operation that has established a base in Sokovia. You work out of Sokovia, and you guys get to determine if you. We've got a British, right? Soma's from Britain, and it sounded like Saxton, Middle America, so American Pawn also. So that's cool. It's a nice international group. I like that a lot. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's an old Hydra bunker.
Oh snap! That's it.
And surely they've gone down and cleared out all of the stuff in the basement, right? They've already
surely.
Long-term storage. It's all good. Cool. That's so excited by this. This is good stuff. And as because we've gone to Sokovia, just so you know, there are a group of superheroes who supposedly protect Sokovia. They are mostly Sokovian born. Not, well, half of them, I think, if I remember correctly. So that's a thing that probably won't overlap, but it exists. There's a group of Sokovians who, yeah, take down Sarah and Leshy. Leshy was so wild and weird. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Good. Cool. I love this. I love Sokovia. So we're going to be all creating little bits of what Sokovia is like. What's the culture like? I imagine it's a relative, like just from the name, probably was at some point maybe part of the USSR. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I think that's cool stuff. You of course are encouraged to stay on base, but you're grown-ass adults. So I'm curious. I'm just going to go around the horn to figure out who lives on base and who is just crazy enough to say, no, I insist on having an apartment, or I picked up a house off base. So we'll start with Starfall. Do you live on base or off of the
Yeah,
base?
Starfall definitely lives on base.
What about Flyboy?
I think he technically lives on base, but he doesn't spend a lot of time there. It's like he'll shack up wherever.
Nice. What about Iron Wolf? I have to say that a
Oh
certain way.
yeah, yeah. No, that's how you have to do it. Yeah, Iron Wolf also stays on base. He lives on base. He's constantly, I think the only time he goes off base is the bar, the nearby bar.
Nice. And then last but not least, Pawn.
Um, Pawn Lionel lives on base, but slips out often through clandestine tunnels to get to the local towns because he has what's the right word, a trade system going on where he gets stuff and brings it into the base uh for the military people, the S.H.I.E.L.D people who are here, the MACE people who are here, but then takes maybe takes some stuff that he finds from the military, maybe stuff in that underground storage area, and sells it in the town. And he also has levels where he's like, oh yeah, of course the authorities inside the base know that I'm sneaking out, and they kind of turn a blind eye to it because I'm just selling cigarettes, but they don't know, oh, here's this gun. Yeah.
Oh, fun. Fun. I realized as you guys were going through all of this, there is one other thing you're going to need to answer, which is what's your rank? So I'm going to add that in. I'm currently trying to add it into Iron Wolf, and then I'll copy it over to everybody else. I'm going to let you just choose it because I'm not sure how this is going to go, but you can be a private, specialist. You can be a sergeant, though I think only one of you should be a sergeant, and someone can be a second lieutenant.
Starfall will take the lieutenant for sure.
As a war. See if I got that right. I did not. Fudge. Let me try that again. Undo, undo, undo. Okay. Remove all. There we go. Cool. I'll get that going in just a second here. Yeah, if you want to just write it in for Iron Wolf, you can. And then I'll circle back around and fix things. Sticking it. I'll have to move it slightly differently for Flyboy and for Starfall. There we go. So it's down around row in the 40s rows starting at B column. And if you could just write in the rank options are under rules D starting 67. I'll create a drop down for you if you have trouble.
And Starfall, you said that you're going to be a second lieutenant, or
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a corporal.
Cool. Feels good. Specialist for Flyboy.
Then I'm going to be a private.
There you go.
I was previously a corporate, but had been knocked down to private.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Cool. So I'm gonna adjust that rank part to put your rank as a number in there. So your rank as a number for the second lieutenant is a 4.
Got it.
And it's effectively your tier. You're basically a tier 4.
Oh, cool.
When you ask for stuff, people listen.
Got it.
Private cool. Yeah, that's how that goes. And then pawn being a private, you'll be a 0. There we go. Is that guy? Did I get everybody? Here we go. I gotta get one more. Specialist. Specialist is. How's it go? Sorry for this. Specialist is a 1. That's right. There we go. Corporal. Make sure I got that right. 2. Pawn is a private at 0. Excellent. Good. Thank you guys for that little excursion into rules that I didn't have finished. Wonder how that's going to show up in the summary. All right. Cool. So I'm going to let Iron Wolf, Corporal Iron Wolf, tell us a little bit about this bar that he frequents, because you've stuck an NPC there, Chasten, and I think that's important. So, are you imagining that this is old style pub? Is this a bar that's like an unlicensed bar, meaning it's literally run out of the back of, like, a person set it up like a bar, but it's really out of the back of their house? Or is it like a recently money coming into Sokovia now that they have a S.H.I.E.L.D. military base and their own super team? So it's new money, kind of new money bar coming in. Maybe it's even a we're trying to make our own brand of bar kind of.
Yeah, I think it's a it's the closest thing off base, and that's what's important to him, and that's why he goes to Applebee's. They have a decent selection. It's not too expensive, and he likes the familiar bad fried appetizers from back home.
Oh, that's so good. But it's like, is it like 80? Is it full on Applebee's, or is it like 80% Applebee's with some Sokovian stuff mixed in? Because
Is Applebee's.
Yeah, I think it's 100% Applebee's.
oh, they love it.
Now, the ingredients might not be 100% Applebee's. There's probably some better stuff going on. Like, oh, hey, these are like much more like delicious. Actually, no, everything is 100% Applebee's. Even the like cancerous, illegal flavorings that they don't have in Sokovia that America has, those are getting imported in. It is just like walking down. It's like I'm eating good in the neighborhood always.
That's great. Oh, it's so messed up. Talk about a homesick
I was
problem.
gonna go something else, and then it was just like, I don't know. There's something about it. It had to be. Of course, the obvious answer is like, oh, it's a rundown. It's a tough place. It's like, yeah, but it's probably an Applebee's. I don't know.
That's great. That gives me very good place vibes. So I love it. It's awesome. So Pawn, you've got this little side business, the smuggling stuff. Did you stand up this operation, or did you find out about it and come in and keep it going?
Oh, I think so. There's always a history of, a trade system going on between military bases and the local towns. That's pretty, it's not that I took it over. I think I came in, started my own business, and I think I ran the others out of business, like the normal ones who might be selling whiskey to the people on base and might be selling, contraband to the people in town back and forth. But in this case, I think I ran them out by just doing a better business and having better items. Yeah. And of course there was none of the stuff that, I think I search around and find other things, not like regular guns, but maybe artifacts or something like that shouldn't be
Whoa.
sold but are. Yeah.
Oh my.
Look, this thing glows and you don't even have to plug it
Mhm.
in. That's weird.
Writing down sometimes sells artifacts. That is interesting. Sweet. Let's get a detail on Starfall here. So we've got this Comrade Arms Vasco. Tell me a little bit about the relationship that Starfall and Vasco have.
I think Vasco is still part of the British Army, not part of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he's someone I came up with, I think. And yeah, he's more of like a go get him military punch bang bang guy, which is like not Starfall's personality, but still within Starfall's skill set for sure. And so they kind of get along on a bro-y kind of basis there.
Interesting. How do you imagine Vasco is stationed in Sokovia as well? Is there a British office, like a diplomatic office, and
yeah,
he's
let's say there is. Yeah, keep him close. Or maybe he's with the SAS now or something. If that is that still a thing? I don't remember. I'm saying the right thing, right? SAS.
think so. I think so.
The thing is, in the MCU, they're bringing all the old agencies back, so it's
Yeah.
probably it's probably around.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So he's British Special Forces, whatever that means.
Yeah, he's special forces. He's in charge of security at the British consulate.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, good. Sounds real good. And so, Flyboy, do you go to the Applebee's? I had a feeling that we were going to have other places.
Maybe ironically, but it's like if he's out with some locals who he's gotten to know and they really want to go to the Applebee's, he'll go to the Applebee's. It's not like and then he'll like make a show of having some particular thing, but it's not like he doesn't go there because he likes it. He wants something juicier, something real.
Of course.
Flyboy, you gotta have these chicken wonton tacos and pair it with the tipsy zombie. You'll love it. You've never had such exotic cuisine.
You should come with me to the local place down here. You can see the chickens. They kill them out in the backyard, and then then they cook them. It's very authentic.
Yeah, that's great, but have you ever had bottomless, boneless wings? They don't have enough chickens to satiate my chicken wing desire. Applebee's does.
Well, I'll take quality over quantity.
Not me, baby. I'm all American.
Okay. This is good. Any other, as we've been bouncing around, anyone have any details they want to throw out there before we move towards taking a break? Oh, Cody Iron Wolf is backwards for me. Get 50-50 shot, man.
I made, okay, hold on. Tell me if this works. I made two because you're like always like, oh, it's flipped, it's wrong. And I was like, why would they say that unless you think the way you're doing it normally isn't? So here we go. All right. Let's try this on for size. How does that work?
Perfect.
It's great. Good job.
I should have just done it the right way and trusted myself. All right.
You should have done it the right way.
I do that every time. That's why they have
Yep.
to tell me. Yeah.
It's okay. No worries. You're cool. You're cool as the other side of the pillow. Excellent. Any other details folks wanted to throw out before we take our mid-game break and then jump into a mission? Okay, I will uh-oh. Scarlet Witch. What? How to make authentic Sokovian paprikash. Oh my goodness, that is so
Nice.
cool. What a great thing to share. Okay, cool. So before we break, just so you guys can sit on it, I will reveal to you your first mission. You are going to be sent. The Latvian government has obtained a dangerous item, the Wand of Watum. This could be spell disaster for the free world. Luckily, and thanks to some timely intel from our moles inside Dr. Doom's organization, we have an unusual opportunity to steal it back. The Latvian helicarrier, which is in all ways inferior to the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarriers, known as Artemis, is currently cruising in stealth mode over the international waters in the North Atlantic. You are going to liberate that package, meet the MACE shuttle on the starboard side of the helicarrier flight deck for exfiltration at 14:30. Don't be late, or you'll have to find your own way off the helicarrier. The Wand of Watum is able to absorb, redirect, and amplify energy. It's a durable weapon, can be used to channel magic into it, therefore making it a powerful relic. The faces in the horned heads on each end glow when the staff is in use. Those are all the notes you have on it that you're given in your official mission briefing. So when we come back from our mid-game break, we'll be in the mission planning prep, which means you can take an action of like gathering intel, and then you guys as a group, well, mostly Starfall, because she outranks all you fuckers, will figure out what's your approach. Then we roll an engagement roll and we'll jump right into the action. It's going to be awesome. So with that, let's take our mid-game break. And we are back. So let's talk about it. Thanks for the fix, by the way. One of my powers was poorly defined. I think I have got it fixed to where it makes some sense. So there is a Latvian helicarrier that you guys have been tasked, mission sent to go retrieve something called the Wand of Watum. And I'm curious. You have this mission, you're leaving in the morning. You have the afternoon and evening to do whatever research you would like. I have not introduced any of your core group. The mission was given to you by Captain Lance, Cedric Lance, who is a highly decorated S.H.I.E.L.D. officer, and in attendance was Second Lieutenant Rosa Jaskin, who's same ranking as Starfall. She's your support. She's your person that you will call in for powers. So let's check in with, I guess, Starfall. You just gotten your mission. You know what you're going to be asked to do.
Yeah, so we are the wand is on the helicarrier. We need to find the helicarrier, get on the helicarrier, the helicarrier, get the wand, GTFO.
Yep.
Cool. I assume the helicarrier is operational and
yes, it will be flying. It's
in the air. Yes,
they are tracking it now, even though Latveria feels that it is clouded. It's literally traveling in the clouds, and they feel that it's shielded. But we've got MACEs. We've got eyes on them.
Great. Do we have transport that we can requisition or get or use from S.H.I.E.L.D.?
You do. You don't need to, unless you want to ask for something more than what they're offering. You have a regular transport. I imagine that it is like a Quinjet style shuttle.
Great. So I guess the approach we might want to look at a stealth approach to try and get up to and on the helicarrier before without being detected. So maybe we might requisition some kind of cloaking or jamming stuff on that Quinjet.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you are interested in trying to get some assets.
Yeah.
So each of you guys, like gather intel is free and clear. It does not cost. We're effectively starting with one downtime action per person before you jump into mission. This is your acquire asset. With that in mind, Mark, you want to proceed? You good with this?
Yeah, I'm good with acquiring.
Cool. And what that will do mechanically is that'll give you a benefit in your engagement roll, right?
Right.
Okay, so acquire asset, roll your rank to gain temporary use, basically one mission of an asset. You're getting a special item. And I think that acquire asset is, shoot, now I'm trying to remember our current, our terminology. Hold on. The controlled, risky, or desperate. What is that called?
Position and effect.
Position and effect, yes. Yeah, position and effect. So I think this will be a controlled position, right? Nobody's going to freak out if you ask for more than you should. And standard effect. Yes?
I think you generally don't use those for
Okay,
downtime.
that was where I was a little confused. I'm like, oh crap, am I supposed to do that thing for the downtime? Okay, good. So just make your roll your rank.
Ooh,
4 dice.
That's 4. All right. Definitely person. Let me get on there. I might fantastic. 4 dice to get a cloaky cloak.
First roll of MACE. I'm very excited.
Double 6, but I am starting off strong.
Wow, that is friggin' awesome. So a critical means is oh, I've got tears still in there. Is rank plus 1. Oh wow, that's awesome.
Plus 2, yeah.
Rank plus 2, yeah. Sorry.
Wow.
You
Cadillac.
get it's the Cadillac of
the
stealth system.
The Cadillac.
You have an incredible stealth system. I think they've integrated some Asgardian technology into this because it's just so uber. That is definitely going to help. Cool. What about Corporal Ironwolf? What would you like to do in preparation for the mission?
Yeah, Saxton's gonna do what he always does, which is train. He's gonna do some break falls. He's gonna do some stealth rolls. He's gonna practice, disembarking in a fast, efficient manner that's safe at high altitudes. It's a hell of a work, but somebody's got to do it.
Okay, so mechanically, what training does is for Iron Wolf, you get to mark 1 XP in either, and I'll show you on the actual character keeper because there are several places where you can mark. There are 4 places where you can mark XP. So if you mark XP in your special abilities, that's called your playbook XP. Then when you fill up the XP track, you would get a new one of these special abilities.
Excellent.
If you fill up your insight, your prowess, or your resolve XP tracks, when you fill up any one of these, you can add an action dot to one of the actions underneath that.
Perfect. Okay. With that in mind, I will be adding it to my special abilities play.
Okay, sounds good.
XP track.
And again, because I lopped off the team playbook, some of the team playbooks or squad playbooks would allow you to have benefits for some of this. Just saying that so that we can keep that in mind for feedback of like, I really felt the lack of, or it didn't really bother me that it was not present. That's one of the things I'm curious about. So excellent. Corporal Einwolf, you have your own music montage of training. It's very sexy. Pawn, what would you like to do? What's your downtime activity?
So since we're going after a what's the right name? Latverian vehicle, I think I want to do some research and figure out weaknesses or abilities, how fast can they move, that kind of thing.
And
I'm going to
just
gather
so I'm
information.
clear, you're doing research on Latverians as a
Um,
people, or
I'm sorry, no, on the vehicle itself.
oh, the helicarrier?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Got
Like,
it.
how fast can it move? What are its weaknesses? That kind of stuff.
Great. That is absolutely a thing, and it's gather intel. So you're just going to be choosing an action on how you want to gather that intel, and
So I'm going to roll hunt, which is hunt a target, gather information about its location and movements.
sounds good. Okay.
And I got a 5.
All right. So with a 5, you're going to get some good information because it is outside of consequences and the like. Then it just means you mixed result, as it were. And the main thing you pick up is that the shield was not just being proud. The Latverian helicarriers are inferior in armament and speed. They are flying aircraft carriers, and that the true strength of the Latverian helicarriers are that they can carry a large number of Latverian, effectively the version of their like F-16s, which I haven't found in comics that they have an air force, but of course they have an air force because they're Latveria, and that just seems like a thing Doctor Doom would want. So, main weaknesses are that they have very large power generators, which you would find in level 3, and that they, like the old style helicarriers, they have 4 main jet engines. So there are 4 points that could be attacked. Usually the Latverian helicarriers are used to deploy, like they come close enough for aircrafts to go out. They're more of a home base than an actual forward attack platform. Does that
Perfect.
feel fair for a 5 level of
Yeah.
information? Okay.
Yeah. And I think I do a real quick report and send that out to the rest of the team, indicating, hey, this is the stats. A lot of it can be ignored, right?
Fair enough. Cool. Been trying to buy time for you, Andesh, because I know this is supper time for you. But you need to step up to the bike and tell us what action do you want to take?
I think I'm going to train as well. And just to be clear, what Steven just did, that's not a downtime activity, right? That's just
true.
gather.
It was just a regular. Yeah, it's to me, sorry, Champions terminology. 0 phase action. You can do a gather intel, gathering information before a mission. Yeah. So you can actually do another thing. Thank you for that point, Andesh. So Steven, if you want to do a second thing for Pawn, you can.
Okay, let me figure it out while Anders goes.
Yeah. I'm going to train special abilities as well because I really, really want to get another one, and I'm not sure if there will be time, but we can go for it. And
Cool.
I think this is, since actually most of my special abilities are about me being a terrible person and just raising hell in general. I think Flyboy is just on a tear through the what passes for an entertainment district in the closest city, like the night before the mission, just out partying and having a good time, relaxing before he might go off and die in Latveria, which seems terrible.
Awesome. You guys are sorry. I now remember from looking at the last time we played in Sokovia, which was the above the law game. Novigrad is where you guys are stationed. So I will type that. But that's not where your mission is. So makes total sense for Flyboy to go out. Do you get just trashed, Flyboy? Is this dude showing up for the mission with a hangover and still stinking of booze, or what?
Thinking of booze, yes. Hangover, probably not. Like he knows his limits, so yeah, he's a bit worse for wear, but not like totally trash.
Very cool. All right. So with that in mind, you guys have all so circling back to Pawn, is there a downtime action you would like to take?
Sure. Sorry to, delay things. Yes. I will train as well, and I think I start making friends among the start talking to the other people. Is anyone else going with us, or is it just the four of us?
Oh, great question. I think you will have, well, I guess Flybo will be the primary pilot, but you'll have a pilot who takes over, secondary pilot, kind of like the second shift on Star Trek. And also because it's easier for her reaction time if she's in close, Spider will be on the Quinjet. And if you are interested in another character being on board as support, we can make that happen.
Yeah, so I think that, we have a pilot, we have a guard, we have like someone to protect Spider, because Spider's important, and then we have Spider themselves. And I'm basically talking with them and chumming around a little bit just to try and get a feel for who they are and what they're like.
Cool. So we have defined a guard
For Spider.
For Spider. Okay.
And I'll actually put that into the NPCs. I'll pick out a picture and
Perfect. Thank you. Love it. Very, very good. Cool.
I think this guard isn't one of the MACE Corps, but is like a trainee.
Ooh, a trainee. Nice. So not part of MACE, they're just a S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think they're a MACE trainee, not, they don't have the implant or anything.
Very cool. I like it. Okay. Yeah, so you'll drop them into the NPC. Let's go ahead and stick them up on the S.H.I.E.L.D. folks area. Spoiler? God, if this is a spoiler for you, I'm sorry. Latveria is the country with the despot of Dr. Doom in control, Victor Von Doom, villain of Fantastic Four and Avengers variety. He is a genius level intellect, mechanical mastermind, as well as was considered potentially, yeah, a candidate to be Sorcerer Supreme when Doctor Strange lost his powers. So he's a scary guy. You guys are going to be doing things to make him mad. I just want to warn you ahead of time. Sweet. So we pick up with you guys flying in the Quinjet to set up our engagement role. So with the engagement role asset that you have added, I think you guys are going to be, you've got a lot of dice coming in. So let's start with, we're going with a stealth. You're hoping to trespass unseen. And the details, the point of infiltration. So, based off of Pawn's research, where do you guys want to try to come in to the target? Where do you want to try to hit the target or insert yourselves?
I mean, since we're stealth, would it be reasonable to say we just like fly into or land on the deck or fly into a hangar
Absolutely.
unseen?
Absolutely. Yes, that is absolutely logical. If you take a look at the overall, it looks like the way this is designed is really very much like an old style on the water aircraft carrier. So they have a runway and jets are coming in on that top runway. There is lots of open space for you to be dropped on top and then hide. So that makes perfect sense for your insertion point. Okay, is this mission particularly bold or daring?
Yeah.
Okay, so you 1 die for sheer luck, a 2nd die because it seems bold and daring. Is this mission overly complex or contingent on many factors?
So we're dropping in, we're grabbing the thing, we gotta go.
Yeah. Easy
Yeah.
peasy.
Easy peasy. Okay. Does this plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
Not this step of the plan, at least, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, so Stephen, do you have any? I didn't give you a whole lot of like specific information, but just so you don't feel like you wasted your gather info, I wanted to give you this opportunity. Do you want to say that there is some kind of detail that you've helped with this, or are we good just foregoing that die?
So I think that specifically knowing like some of their weaknesses, like how fast they can move, where they'd be paying attention, that kind of stuff, can help us approach from the correct like basically a radar blind spot or something that they wouldn't notice as well.
Okay.
Maybe there's like a dead spot like on the deck on the north side of that con tower. So if we like drop in there, like they don't bother like doing patrols on the outside of the helicarrier because no one's gonna walk up there.
I like the idea maybe that this is like the escape hatch area. So basically no one would be coming through here, and but it has flight capabilities. It's not like where they land their F-16s. It's where they'd launch out like glider boats or life preserver kind of things. Yeah.
Neat. I like it. So then that is the 3rd die. Let's see. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? That is really a me question. And I am going to say no. So we'll move on. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this mission? Sounds like a no. No one can think of any. Awesome. Okay. And we will move to staying at 3. Are any enemies or rivals interfering with the mission? And I'm going to say yes. One of your rivals is interfering with this mission. You don't know which, but maybe you could guess. So you're back down to 2. Are there any other elements to consider? Yes. Starfall has put special stealth. That request, because it is your, well, so let's define it. So it's rank +2, which effectively is like 6.
6, yeah.
That is huge. Now we have to find a way to roll rank into how much of a benefit would give engagement. I think minimum 2 dice. Does that seem too small, or 2 dice seem okay?
Seems fair. Oh,
okay.
Well, what rank is the carrier?
Oh, great question. The rank of the carrier is, I think it's a level 4. The carrier itself is nowhere near the.
Sounds
okay. Good. So you have total of 4 dice that you can roll for this engagement.
I was actually thinking of a way that my rival could, or my rival could help. Like I'm rolling into the base in the early morning, and I bump into him, and he like berates me for being irresponsible with the mission. You're going in here. They have these and these and these capabilities. They have like elite shock troops. There could be doom bots. So he's like telling me things that I should know to look out for.
Oh, that's great. Well, then we do have a friend who is helping out, or a rival who's effectively helping out. That will push you to 5 dice. Holy crap. Don't betray us now, dice, because this looks like you'll be rocking and rolling. Let's see how it goes.
Flyboy, do you want to fly us in?
Ooh.
I could just one thing. I think tier is generally just one die if you're higher, and minus one die if
Oh,
you're lower.
that's fair. Yeah, it actually does say in the rules bit +1 for major advantage, -1 for major disadvantage. You're right. So it should be 4 dice then. Thank you for pointing that out. That's why I rely on you guys and your expertise.
I mean, it could be more or less if it was like an extreme difference, I guess. But
Want to make the roll, Flyboy?
should I roll? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're the flyer.
I am the flyer. I'm rolling 4 dice. That's not.
Woo!
2 4s and 2 3s. Okay, just so
Did have a
we're
big night
clear.
out, didn't you?
Oh man, that's so good. So a risky position is where you are delightful. So, I actually I want to have a conversation, have someone have a conversation with Spider before you guys go in, just because I want to get a vibe for her voice and how she relates with you guys. So, who's chatting with Spider as you guys are on the final approach?
So I think I talked about, chumming it up with several of the people there on the ship. So I think I'm the obvious one who was talking to her. Yeah.
She's this Latharian. That's a whole thing. You think we're ready for this?
I don't think ready is a part of it. I just think that the important thing here is that we make sure that they don't know that we hit them, because otherwise they'll come after Covia, they'll come after the US, they'll come after everyone. I mean, they're already hot anyway, but I mean, yeah. I wouldn't be worried about that.
Okay. Good. What should I be worried about? I just want to make sure I have you guys have your back.
You should be worried about getting us in and out.
So what power do you think you're going to start off with, Pawn?
I usually start off with intangibility.
Nice.
So that I can get in and out.
It's a really good one. I like that one a lot. Great.
I normally,
she
just so you
keys into sequence. She's got like 3 or 4 monitors up and a little laptop that she can easily like plug in or pull out. And she's got her little thing on. You see the heart rate similar to Aliens, right? Where you have the little heart rates and the readouts for you guys.
Just so you know, I normally go in, spearhead areas, and search out. I expect that Starfall will request that I find where the club is, where the asset is. So I'll probably be sneaking around for a little while until we can find the location, and then we'll hit them hard, grab it, and head out.
Got it. No problem. I've got your back. Don't worry, Pawn. By the way, why Pawn? This seems, I don't know, kind of low.
Pawns are used by everyone.
Okay. So then we fast forward to Flyboy. Flyboy, what's your like? What kind of flyer are you? This pilot was one of the first ways you identified the character, so I'm curious.
Yeah. I think he definitely knows what he's doing with whatever he's flying, but and he 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 has precision when he needs to, but it always feels a little sloppy and that sort of thing. So it will be like a near miss here and there and that sort of thing. But he unless something goes wrong, it's just a near miss.
Nice. Cool. So you guys zoom across the Latverian helicarrier. You see that there are 6 jets on top. I imagine Starfall, Iron Wolf, both of you could tell that fully half of them fueled up, gas ready to go. The others probably recently returned from patrols. The Quinjet slid past a Latverian ship that was in the clouds. It didn't even notice you. Flyboys just unorthodox enough to be effective. And then you guys are dropped, and I imagine a couple of them roll for a cool effect, similar to Galaxy Quest. Just do the dramatic roll there, and you head into the escape hatch area, and you're off of level 1 before anyone is even aware of your arrival. This is an engagement roll, so you have engaged, but I think that where I would like things to happen, and let's talk a little bit, map talk, because Rich loves maps. So I'm imagining that the platform lift and heavy cargo lift areas are not where the escape hatch would be. I imagine it's somewhere not far from the con tower. So you guys actually came in behind the con tower, which is keeping eyes on this way, eyes forward. You come in, you drop in, take an escape hatch, which means that you'd be coming down into this area where you are in area 6, the aircraft storage and bulk stow, because what happens is there are, within this area here, there are lifts that bring down the ships, and then the aircraft are actually moved along through like an assembly. They're kind of strung up and brought across here, and then there are people with, I'm imagining, similar to like aliens, where they have these exoskeletons that allow them extreme lifting capabilities, and they working in tandem. It's not one person, right? But several of them working together will take the aircraft down and set it in its long-term or longer-term storage area, and then they reverse that when they need to start getting ships up top to launch. So that's where you guys are. And level 2, you're in the general near the aircraft lift area, which would come up here so they can take off. There are work crews with exoskeletons that are moving one of the planes into, or jets into, long-term storage. Engineering crews. These are all appear regular humans. Latveria is a place in Europe, and I've never seen Latveria on a map, actually, to be perfectly honest. So, with that long bit, should you choose load? Yes, everyone, please choose your load. So, Cody, what that means is you choose your load. I'll show you where it is on the character keeper and what it means. This is one of my favorite features of a high action game, because it keeps you from getting locked into things. So all you have to do right now is choose whether you're light, normal, or heavy. Now, if you choose a light load, that could give you a benefit on being stealthy or looking inoffensive. Like someone comes up on you, you don't have giant big guns on you. You don't have to define what the load is right now. You just say, I'm going in heavy, which means you have up to 8 things that you can choose when you need it. Now, you'll notice multiple checkboxes. If you want heavy armor, that's 3 of the 8, right? A normal load is 5 ticks, and then a light load is 3 ticks. All you have to do is choose the load. So let's ask our lieutenant, what load are you choosing?
I am going in heavy because I don't think there's going to be a lot of, well, maybe medium, because we are going to be sneaking around. I was thinking, like, we're not going to be trying to be inconspicuous, but we are. So I'm going to go with medium.
Excellent. Then I will ask Pawn, what is your load?
I'm going in normal.
Okay. What about Flyboy?
Yeah, I'll go normal as well.
And then last but not least, Iron Wolf.
Iron
have
Wolf's
to
going light.
going light?
Ooh.
It's
Crazy.
in, out. All I brought on me is what I need.
Delightful. Okay. So you have been inserted. You are in, and you hear through Spider says, okay, we're pulling out. And what is our club? Orca?
That's
Wow.
right, Orca.
Nice. Cool pick. So she's Wakandan. That's badass. I love it.
Part of the Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Club could beat all of our asses. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, Orca is like, yeah, I don't know why they're sending you guys. I could do this in my sleep, but whatever.
She's a bodyguard. She doesn't have powers, right? We've got this cool powers, right?
Yeah.
If she can kick your ass, Iron Wolf, then I'm sorry.
Hey, she's packing vibranium, Pawn. I don't know what you're thinking. Anyways, Spider, juice me with a 2.
Sweet. Our first harvest. This is so exciting. I love it. So you are choosing to pay 3 stress to get Winter Soldier, meaning you're going to add 1 to Prowl and Skirmish. So what you'll do is if you'll tick 3 of the stress you already have, great job. And then in Harvested Powers down on row 17, you can just choose Winter Soldier. Like I'll do it for you. And that'll be your little reminder that that's what you have. So she says, okay, Iron Wolf, I've got you. And then you feel this little surge, and Winter Soldier's powers are added to your deck. Don't forget those. It would suck for you to pay 3 stress and then not remember. So I'll try my best.
On the prowl.
Sweet. Good. So Starfall, you guys are in. And Iron Wolf's already grabbed a power. What do you want to do?
Yeah, Pawn, you want to ghost it up?
Yeah, so I'll take the ghost power. I'll slip out of the ship and start looking around. I'm doing reconnaissance. Not primarily to try to find where the club is so that we can take it and leave. That's the primary thing. But also I want to make sure everyone else knows the lay of the land, where the guards are, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, you're in a risky position. So let's have you. Okay, so you've ghosted up. You can move through objects, which is awesome. And it sounds like you want to try to gather some info here. What action are you engaging? And then we'll set our position and effect.
Probably survey. Survey a location or situation to understand what's going on. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Gather information about opportunities or exploits. That's perfect. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to ride, because you just did engagement, I'm going to ride with the risky as your position and standard effect. So you're going to roll. Now, this is mostly for Cody. Stephen, I know you know most of this, and Cody probably does too because of the different iterations, but also for anyone who's watching. Here's how we happen. You stated a goal. You've chosen your action. I set the position and the effect level. You don't have any harm. So we'll talk about bonus dice, push for effect, or trading position for effect. No real trading position for effect. So do you want a devil's bargain is the first question, or do you want to spend stress to push?
I'm not going to spend stress to push at this point. I would like to hear a devil's bargain.
Okay, now a devil's bargain is one of the most interesting and slightly challenging parts of Blades, because to me, if I offer you a devil's bargain and you say no, then that means it definitely isn't, it can't happen unless you fail, which is okay. It's just one of those, I'm like talking about it. I think that the devil's bargain is that, here's the devil's bargain. The devil's bargain is you can get a bonus for your roll of 1 die, but the Quinjet informs you that there's a Latverian patrol coming close, and they're going to have to pull a fade and pull further away from you guys for a little bit. So they are not going to be immediately available. You're still available for powers. I'm not taking away that because holy crap, why would we do this? And I would do that right away. That's just a terrible idea. But it does mean your exfil is a little bit further away if something happens and you desperately need them right now.
This means that our exit is further away, or the rest of the team is further away from me.
The exit is further away.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're all
So
on
that's
the ship.
Okay, so that's a devil's bargain I'll take. What about assistance? Does anyone see a way that they could assist me? And that would cost you a stress.
Obviously, I'm stealthed up. I'm ready to cover the hallways. You can't. So I could see like Iron Wolf going with you up to a wall, watching the hallway. You go into the wall. You open a door. I could see that kind of being the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I love it.
Perfect.
Do you want to make it a group action?
Ooh, so you're trying to not just gather information, but more like leading people to, because I think originally it was I want to gather information for everybody.
Yeah. So I think let's make it a group action, like in order to get to the place. But the original reconnaissance, I think, should be a single action between Pawn and Iron Wolf. How about that? Okay.
Well, let's just do the gather information. We'll worry about a group once you have information. Does that seem fair?
Yeah. So I have 1 tick in survey. I took a devil's bargain for 1, and then I'm getting health from Iron Wolf, so that's 3d6.
Hold on, let's check. Can you devil's bargain on top of a stress for 2 dice, or do you have to do 1 on position, 1 on effect?
Oh, I can never remember.
I know this is the part that always messes me up too, so I just want to ask it.
You can't push, according to the rules in the tab, you can't push yourself and a devil's bargain, but you can get assistance and a devil's bargain.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's push and devil's bargain. You can't get dice for both, but you can.
Where did I stick that so I can look at it again later?
It's a pop-up under J9.
Yeah, on the bonus dice thing.
Ah, smart someone from before. Thank you. I kind of want to stick that in a more obvious area. So I'm going to do that, but not right this second. Okay, good. So then you're sitting at 3 dice.
Yep. So let me roll those. And I got a 5. I got 2 1s and a 5.
So, wow. So in a risky position, 4 to 5, you do it with a consequence, a harm, complication, a reduced effect, or your position becomes desperate. I'm not going to throw you into a desperate situation this fast. So I think what happens is a complication. So upon you phase through a wall, am I scared? God, when the complication happens, don't worry. I will hit hard. I will. I think the complication is that you move from level 2, where you're able to pass through. It does not look like there's any storage. Even the storage armory, you like pass through the storage armory. You see that there are a few people there. They're playing cards and chatting, and then you go down a level. And here's the complication. When you go down 1 level, I'm going to grab a picture to show you for a sec here. Sorry, I have to find the picture. There it is. Awesome. So, as a reminder, you did succeed, but with a complication. Here's what you find. And I'm going to screen share. You're moving through, and you see in the sorry, trying to find the numbers in the correspond, because I like look down here and now I'm looking for the thing. Sweet. So it is in the secure lab to the south here. and the north here. Those two secure labs, they are, you see, 4 of these individuals. They are in what appears to be, from your data files, Latverian armor. And you are aware that this armor set has enhanced sensors. So it is like if you're on anywhere in the infrared spectrum, or possibly if you're phasing, they will likely be able to spot you. But none of these 4 guards spot you at this very second when you notice them first pawn. But that is the most secure area that you found on the ship to this point.
So I think I radio back to the rest of them. Yeah. I radio back to the rest of them. Okay, I found where there's 4 guards. They're in level 3 in the secure lab area. Of course they'd be studying whatever this is. I haven't put eyes on the asset. Do you have orders, Starfall?
So the rest of the team should probably get down there. So tell me again where exactly the guards are. Are they in that 11 area or are they outside of it?
I think
The guards are in area 9.
Okay.
There are 2 here and 2 here.
Okay. And so you haven't gotten into the secure lab, right?
So I can get in there if that's your order, or I can just sit here and twiddle my thumbs for everyone else to catch up. What do you want, Lieutenant?
Yeah, I think we want to see, like, at least get eyes on the asset if you can do that safely. If not, then the team should move down and we can make the plan from there. Question for Rich. Level 3 is the bottom level of the helicarrier?
Correct.
Good.
So then I'm gonna follow the commands of the lieutenant and try to sneak past the guards. And I'm gonna start with the south lab to see if I can slip inside there without being seen.
Can you come in from the ceiling, like go on level 2 and then poke your head down through the floor?
Don't tell me how to do my job. I can do that.
A question, not an order.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to set this as a desperate action, mostly so we can see this on the table, and also you get an XP for it. So it is a desperate action to go into this lab all by your lonesome. Does that seem fair? Or at least close enough to fair?
Yeah.
Cool. See, I know you're hungry for XP, so you're going to say it's fair, even if you're not sure if it's fair. And that's okay for me. So it's a desperate action, standard effect.
Do you have a devil's bargain?
Well, do I have a devil's bargain for you? The first lab that you go into has a very important Latverian figure in it.
That's the devil's bargain?
That is the devil's bargain.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'll take that just because it's fun. Okay,
awesome.
So let me roll. I think that's probably prowl, which is move around unseen and traverse obstacles, blah blah blah. Yeah, so that sounds good. So I have 2 ticks in prowl, and devil's bargain gives me 3 dice, and I got a 5 as my highest.
Okay, so with a 5 on a desperate action, you do it with a consequence: severe harm, a serious complication, or reduced effect. Delightful.
And this is desperate. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Sweet. You do let us remember. Rich is just telling you. Don't forget there are resistance rolls. This is where Rich goes a little hard. And it's great, guys. Don't worry. Let's go to our map. Did you take Starfall's recommendation to just obviate the guards and just kind of peek down from up top?
Yeah, so basically, I think my method was I don't go to level 2 and sneak and come down. That would be obvious. I go to the routing area in between the two. Since I can phase, I'm actually just crawling through where the wires and that kind of stuff are, and then I'll poke my head down because people don't tend to look up to notice things. And I'm going towards that south lab first, the one labeled number 11 in the south. That's right.
Excellent. So you pop in the south section, and when you do, you see that this secure lab, there are it's more of a tech lab than a alchemy lab, if the distinction makes sense, in that they have spectrometers. There aren't like little test tubes of things. There are a number of devices used for computer analysis, and you see holding the wand of Watum is a very, very old looking gentleman. And he is, you've read the files, I'm going to say, because I'm feeling nice, just so you can understand. This is Gustav Hauptmann. He originally worked for Adolf Hitler and then later the Red Skull, and then he was captured by Dr. Doom and forced to work for Dr. Doom. And he has the wand, and he is currently running a like little Geiger counter type of thing. But it absolutely the matches the description and the visual that you have. And I'm sorry that's so dark. I have other pictures, but none were quite as cool showing the demon head thing. So with that one. But when you look in, the complication is that the eyes start to light up on the little demon head, and Gustav Hauptmann, with his like rounded glasses, you can't see the irises, right? You just see the light reflecting off of it. He starts looking around as if he's aware of you. What do you do?
So I think the complication here is that he will see me,
Mm-hmm.
and let's see if I can resist that.
Awesome. So a resistance roll, kind of the well, other than flashback, we've hit all of the bits, which makes me very exciting. So you can resist being seen. In fact, I could have at this point said, and he sees you, and you could resist that. So why don't we do that? I'm going to be more forceful. He like looks around, and you can't see the irises, but the eyes are focused directly at your point. So you would like to resist that. So anytime you suffer a consequence, that's a consequence. You've been spotted. You can resist that consequence. Resistance always works, but it may only reduce the consequence rather than eliminate it completely. So what you do with a resistance is you use an attribute chosen by the GM. That's me. And I think that this is consequences from deception or understanding. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go insight. So you need to roll insight. You're going to suffer 6 stress minus the highest die result that you roll of insight. I don't know what your insight is, so if I picked your lowest stat, sorry, not sorry.
No, it's a 2. So let me roll my 2d6. My highest is a 4. I got 2 4s, so I'll take 2 stress for that.
You'll take 2 stress. So there's a moment, and then he reaches up and he adjusts his little goggles, like maybe he's not quite sure what he sees. You just happen to move out the perfect time. It's one of those, like, he looks where we the audience saw you standing right there, and then when we see it from his point of view, you're not there anymore.
Right. And I think that my next move is I phase back up through, so I'm in that crawl space area. I phase back up onto level 2. And I'm lying on my back, breathing heavy, and I radio to Starfall. Lieutenant, eyes on target. There's a scientist messing with it. It's in the bottom 11 location. And I will wait for entry until the rest of you are ready.
We have files on this guy, right? He is
Oh,
not
for
powered,
sure.
right?
Oh,
He
okay.
is not powered. but he's holding an extremely powerful mystical
Right.
artifact. So if he knows how to use that, that is bad.
Right. Cool. Iron Wolf and Flyboy, do you have do you want to get in on some action before I just start saying to do stuff?
Iron Wolf's always on the hunt for action.
So it's Flyboy in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
yeah, go for it.
I know by the description I've been in the hallways as he's clearing rooms, so I will move towards the nearest. It looks like how do people get from level 2 to level 3? Is there stairs that I don't see? Oh, personnel lifts. Okay, number 3.
Yep, there are lifts.
Yep. So I'm gonna move right to that personnel lift and head down to attempt to get outside of the room that I know Pawn is sitting above, because this is a classic pincer maneuver that we've trained thousands of times. Obviously, breaching from above, the side, below, it's gonna pop off.
It's gonna pop off so good. Sweet. That sounds great. Do I want to stick that to a roll? No, I just think you're getting in position. Here's what you witness, Iron Wolf, as you're getting in position. And just so I'm clear, you're down on level 3 with eyes on, right? Because I don't want to.
Right.
Okay. You see that down at the southern area, that door has been opened to the secure lab and is being closed as you come up. And then the 2 armored guards from the northern, they're hup walking it across the area to keep eyes on the exterior. So just because I have maps. The 2 guards who are here have gone inside. The 2 guards who are here are hupping it down this way. Hauptmann has asked for reinforcements. Oh yeah, Mark XP for making the desperate roll. Thank you, Mark, for that. Iron Wolf, what do you do?
Well, knowing that they're coming, I'm juiced up on Winter Soldier powers, so I'm going to, get into an ambush position to where I can take these guys out.
Okay, you're in position.
I'm going to take them out.
Awesome.
I believe that's what we're going for here.
I think you're moving faster than you probably should. I'm going to say you're in a little bit of a desperate position.
Absolutely. Always. Iron Wolf always operates in the desperate zone, you might say. Cool. So this is skirmish?
You can define the action.
It looks like it's prowl. Ambush with close violence, a backstab, throat cutting blow to the back of the head. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think Iron Wolf's coming down the personal lift, sees them approaching. He pulls himself up on the side of the lift as the lift goes down and then back up, and he's just waiting to get the drop. And as soon as they drop, these iron hands are going through those armored cores. Yeah.
Are they? Okay.
They are.
You do have Winter Soldier.
Rich.
Great. So desperate position. I think I am going to go with limited effect. I'm sorry, but they have armor for a reason. It's supposed to protect them. So limited effect. Now, let's work through it. You have, because you're going with prowl, you have 1 die in prowl, correct? Yes, you have 1 die. But you can, if you want, you can push yourself, spending 2 stress to get an extra die yourself. You can ask for a devil's bargain, which I will happily offer you. And if you take it, that thing is true, and you'll get another die, but it doesn't cost you any stress. It's like, wow, it's a great idea.
So I'm right here. I have 1 prowl naturally. I'm juiced up on Winter Soldier serum, so I got a second prowl.
That's right.
Prowl, and I will take the devil's bargain to get the 3rd.
Awesome.
I don't even need to hear what it is. Give me it, Rich.
Oh my gosh. And again, I can always pull the table to see if there are other devil's bargains, because these devious minds are a little more devious than me. I think the devil's bargain. Yeah. I think the devil's bargain is that the Dr. Doom arrives clock will be ticked.
Good.
Okay. Well, we'll just go ahead and have that. That's out there now. Dr. Doom arrives. It's a 4-tick clock, just so you know.
All right. So I have
Cool.
3d6.
3d6.
Here it comes. And these games, you take the highest roll, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna switch over to the window. 4.
Oh, 4. Okay, so on a desperate action, you do it with a consequence, severe harm, a serious complication, or reduced effect. And I think what happens is, you're strong enough with Winter Soldier's power and your own skill set to like reach in and wrench this person's armored suit? Is that what you are envisioning for Iron Wolf?
Absolutely.
Turns out the buddy is like cool under pressure and just unloads on you with their rifle, that cool looking blaster rifle thingy that I showed you just a moment ago.
Yep.
See, and I think that is going to be as Rich refamiliarizes himself with harm to make sure, that is going to be a 3 harm 3, right? That's the one that would go need help if it's not ameliorated in any way, correct? Yeah.
Yep.
So he unloads into you. So first question: you have a light load. You have to use nothing. You get it right now. Say, I've got armor, dude, and tick 2 ticks on the armor, and that 3 harm becomes a 2 harm. You could say, I've got heavy armor, and then it becomes a 1 harm.
Okay. Oh
Or you
boy.
can just resist the consequence.
Exactly. You
And
can
take stress,
resist the
yeah.
consequences and take stress.
I will resist.
Cool.
I wasn't supposed to be caught. I wasn't wearing armor.
Don't forget, you just prowled, so you can mark 1 XP in prowess because you made a desperate action.
It's related to the action. I was going to ask that. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I will attempt to resist it. Does the attempting to resist means I roll and take stress?
So the way that resist works is, first I will define what you're using to resist, and I think this is physical strain or injury, so you're going to roll prowess. You would take 6 stress. You roll prowess, and whatever the highest die of that prowess subtracts from the 6. So if you roll a 5, you only take 1 stress. You roll a 1, you take 5 stress.
All right, here it comes. I
And
got
the
2
resistance, the resistance roll always succeeds. It's not, you can't fail to resist.
Got it.
Correct.
It's just that if your stress goes over, you're taken out of the scene.
Exactly. And get a trauma, which is really sexy and cool.
Yeah, XP trigger.
Corporal Sexton Kane is a man made of iron resistance. As you can see,
Wow,
nice.
that's amazing. A 6 and a 5. Holy crap. Okay, cool. So you resist. It would have been 3 harm. You're not saying you have armor, so by resisting, you take it down to a 2 harm. You were shot multiple times at close range, and you're only at -1D. That's freaking amazing. Like, I think we have MCU style blood, but you are too crazy or too iron hard. So you can mark, there are 2 boxes for -1D. Just mark a like shot in the side or whatever you want in either of those. And that will help you to remember that until you get healed, you're at -1D starting off to do the thing. Anything until you get healed.
I see. So the healing clock is separate. I was misunderstanding where the harm went. So shot in the side, I have 1 -D. Didn't take any stress from it. Got it. Okay.
And that's two things where it would be relevant that you've been shot in the side. I mean, if you're talking to someone, maybe it doesn't apply.
Maybe. You're bleeding and it's hard to talk. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. Sweet. That is awesome. Saxton Kane, Iron Wolf, has taken down one of the guards on the outside. I want to check in with Flyboy. What are you doing? Oh, crap. Or I'm going to pause and say, I think that's the last thing that happens this session, because this went long. So, but I really wanted to do the whole mission, but I knew it. I knew I was gonna have too much fun with the moments. So let's just do our XP stuff. Do you guys want to do XP at the start and just do stars and wishes, or do you want to try to do the whole thing? It's going to be like 15 to 20 minutes if we do the whole thing.
I think XP at the end is good because it's easier to remember.
Yeah, I agree.
What just happened?
Cool. So, Iron Wolf, did you address a challenge with indignation by putting others' needs ahead of your own?
No.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
No.
At least once, I think you certainly did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
I want to go back. Did you put others' needs in front of your own? You stressed out in order to help me.
Boom.
Would that apply?
Mark an XP. And when you mark that XP, you can mark it in any of the 4 tracks, right? You can do it under playbook or under insight, prowess, or resolve.
Okay. So yeah, all right. Counting that, I'll mark it into my playbook.
Okay. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think definitely you're a big hardcore military guy.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
That's right. Military is the background, yeah.
And then did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma? You don't have any trauma yet.
No.
Okay. Cool. Let's jump over to Flyboy. Flyboy, did you address a challenge with charm or recklessness?
I'm not sure I really addressed any challenges, so
I think yes. In the
recklessness,
in the downtime, you were reckless. I like that.
yeah. That's
so
good.
definitely an XP on that one. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Yeah, I think the drives with drives with focusing more on my own entertainment than
I like it.
Background maybe with the run-in with Major Clash.
Do it. All right, so mark 2 XP then for that. Total of 3. And then did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
No, not in any way that hasn't already been covered.
Pawn! Did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
I definitely tracked.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? And again, we can also say addressing that it is part of role building, is part of play. So I certainly think the way that you set up this not at all dangerous to you smuggling operation, you get an XP for that for sure.
Okay.
Anything else that you feel like you were expressing your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I'm going to say that he went out. So tell me about, as far as my obligation trying to help my family and others, I went out on my own trying to help the rest of the team because that's kind of my job as reconnaissance. It would have been much smarter if I just stayed behind. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
No, huh?
Okay. And then last but not least, Starfall, did you address a challenge with violence or discipline?
I think discipline, because we kind of did a tactical, like, go down and recon instead of just everyone running down and starting to do it. So take one for that.
Okay, great. And then did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Background is military, so I feel like that was also
for sure.
a thing there.
For sure, definitely. And then did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
I don't think so. Obligation, I haven't written anything down yet, but I think the obligation is a family thing too. And I think my faith is in Captain Lance, but we haven't really interacted with him at all. So
I should have had him do the mission briefing.
Yeah, that's cool.
I will mark that down as a wish that Captain Lance. So I'll just put
so I'll just take the 2 overall.
Great. We don't have to do squad or team playbook XP, so we can run straight into wishes. Whoever needs to go first should go first. Whoever needs to leave the call should go first. Anybody need to go? All right, then open up. Who has wishes? We start with wishes so we can end with stars. Who's got wishes to throw out?
I'll start with a couple. I want to keep in mind the move that I took from my playbook gives me an additional XP trigger. If I get payback against someone who harmed me or someone I care about, I get XP, and another character that helped me gets XP as well. I don't think it happened in this session, but it's something I wanted to highlight for next. The other things I had written down that I didn't want to forget was I didn't mean to hog all the spotlight. I think I ran in and did all this stuff trying to set things up, and I didn't realize it was getting so late. Another one was I would forget. It's why I take notes. I would forget about having the temporary powers from the Winter Soldier store thing. And one thing that I could do, or that we could do, is under stress, when you click stress, it turns red, and you could copy one of those red check marks down under the powers showing that it's temporary. Does that make sense?
Possibility. Yeah. That makes some sense. Yeah,
That
that's
way it's ticked, but it's not a normal black tick, so you can tell it's only while
you
you have that
remember it's
power.
yeah, ghost thing.
See if
That's
I have
interesting.
anything else. Oh, I wanted to check in with Mark. I intentionally did some resentful attitude towards you, towards Starfall as a lieutenant. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, good. That's all I got.
Thank you, Stephen. Who's next for wishes?
I'll go.
Yeah, you go.
I'm wishing for I think for it to truly pop off. That's what I want to see next. And then I'm really into all these different mechanics, these downtimes and stuff. So I'm very excited to see all that stress, trauma, all these different little all these fiddly bits. I'm into these kind of games that have them. So I'm excited to see the rest of them play out, because I don't think I ever have.
Feel safe with these guys that are expertise and like leaning on them to push on those mechanics. So I really appreciate that, and I'm happy to try to grant that wish next session. Thank you, Cody. Mark, I think you.
I'm also excited for some downtime stuff to get more juice in the characters. I'm excited to see us use some more harvest powers, and Starfall is not, but I'm excited to see Victor Von Doom show up at some point. It sounds like a terrible idea. I can't wait for it to happen.
Best worst idea. Nandesh.
I think my wishes have been covered. Mostly, this makes me want to play more Forged in the Dark games, maybe run something again. So that's
Woo!
But I guess that's a star more than a wish.
Well, all the wishes have been expressed, so you can jump straight into stars. What stars do you have?
Yeah, cool characters, interesting setup. This is a fun mission. So just a good time.
Good. I'm glad for a good time. Mark.
Yeah. So star for the entire concept all around. I'd completely forgotten what I signed up for today. I'm so happy that this was it. This is such a great idea. Initially I was thinking like, oh well, like it's going to be really cool to have the flexibility for anyone to have any power, at a cost or whatever. But I think it's really neat. It's like especially what Stephen and Cody did, because the different powers are going to be suited to different character types as well. So like I'm not a sneaky person. I don't think I'm a sneaky type. I'm not a sneaky person, so I probably wouldn't take the echo powers or ghost powers. And that makes sense for you. So it's going to be really interesting to see how powers mesh up with the characters that take them, and eventually how taking a power that doesn't match up with you because that's what you need in the moment is going to work out. So I'm really excited to see that. Half wish, half star, but star for the system, wish for seeing how it works. Yeah.
Half wish, half star. Is that a
war?
War?
A war? A stish.
A stish. Excellent. Thank you, Mark. Cody, any stars?
Yes, indeed, some stars. The system's awesome. The setup is great, as we've all covered. I really like the maps, Rich. I think that kind of stuff really helps with this, especially this setup, right? It's very like, oh, we're playing a squad, so squad has goals, they have things that they do. So I think that just was all very helpful. And stars to everybody else as well for like Rich, you mentioned the knowing the rules and when stuff triggered. So Mark calling out, hey, Mark XP, that was that's what that was. Just knowing, hey, these are these roles, actually this isn't a part of downtime. So then Stephen got to do some more stuff. So it's great having a table full of people who know the system well, because looking at the character keeper, I get a lot of it, but I know that there's stuff I'm not seeing, right? Like where I was like, whoa, what's the health? I don't know how harm works. What is this kind of stuff? And it's like, oh, anybody could answer my question. So I feel it's a big star to be like, if Rich is in the middle of narrating something for Starfall, I can type in and just say, hey, what is X? And somebody else can type the answer, and I don't have to wait to like interrupt the action. So I don't know, that's just a big star for everybody knowing the game and being great teachers at it. That's it. Okay, I'm bye.
Thank you, Cody. Finish this off, Steven.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back a step. While people were going through their stars, I recognized I had another wish. I would like to have an overall order for all of MACE is as we engage superpowered individuals, we need to collect their DNA to add to the harvest.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it until I think Mark said something. I'm like, ooh, that would be great. Let's see, other stars. Um, so I really like these characters. The setup was great, and as I play, I saw the write up for the game as you discussed it a little bit, and then as we've gotten into play, it just becomes more and more exciting. I like seeing, Iron Wolf Cody jump in and like, I'm doing this thing. Mark did a great job as like, this is what you've got to do. This is the plan. And I liked seeing that Flyboy and Hudson basically went out partying, like you would. So yeah, that was all good.
Was really good. Was really good. Great group. I'm really enjoying that everyone's engaging the system, the characters. I can't wait to explore more of them. I'm already pining for more than 4 sessions because I feel like this, it's Blades. It's one of those things that's just like, so good. So, I just can't wait till next week. I can't wait to see if Dr. Doom arrives. This is gonna be amazing. I can't wait to this fight. So we're gonna start right. It's gonna pop off right away. I'm gonna that pop off wish is gonna happen. This is great. Thank you guys so much for playing this. And with that, we'll stop the recording here.